Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my MLB DraftKings picks for Friday, June 9th. We got a 14-game slate today. Pitching today is not really loaded. You only have one stud that I really feel good about. Then after that one stud, it's pretty much just a bunch of mid-range options. So you can definitely maybe pay down for a pitcher if that's what you like doing. I don't think you have to pay up for a pitcher today. I think there are multiple ways that you can attack the pitching options today. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so like I said, looking at pitcher, your top option in my opinion is Corey Kluber. I don't even think it's much of a contest. I think Kluber's the top option. And I'm going to be locking him in today. 12,600, getting a matchup against the White Sox. I definitely think Kluber is the cash game pitcher today. If you are playing cash games, you got to play Kluber. This is such a good spot. If you look at his stats this year, Kluber has really been good when it comes to his strikeouts. His K rate's always been pretty consistent. If you look at his last 3 years with the Indians, 2014, he had a 28% K rate. Then the next year, 27, then 26, and so far this year, he's posted a 28.7% K rate. So the strikeouts have always been there for Kluber, and he's already shown his strikeout stuff this year. In his first game off of the DL against Oakland, he had 10 strikeouts, only threw 77 pitches, only pitched 6 innings, and still put up 10 strikeouts. Only allowed 2 hits and 1 walk. He looked really solid in that first game off the DL. Finished with 35 DraftKings points. So I expect Kluber to have another solid game today. We all know that the White Sox definitely strike out a lot versus righties. They're striking out 6th most in the league with a 23.7% K rate versus righties. They don't hit righties well either, only hitting a 237 average and a 293 WOBA. So the White Sox are definitely a team we can pick on when it comes to right-handed pitching. And I'm going to be doing that today with Corey Kluber. I think he has the most upside on the slate. And he's my favorite SP1 today at 12,600. And then for my SP2, I'm going to be looking at the mid-range. And I'm going to be looking at Brad Peacock for 7,900, getting a matchup against the Angels. Peacock also has great strikeout stuff. If you look at his K rate this year, it's a very small sample size. He's only pitched like 30 innings so far this year. But in those 30 innings, he has posted a 37.6% K rate. Peacock has really been electric when it comes to the strikeouts. He's only made 3 starts this year. In those 3 starts, he had 9, 8, and 8 strikeouts. Those matchups were against Detroit, Minnesota, and Texas. All pretty decent strikeout teams, maybe not Detroit, but Texas does strike out at a solid rate, same with Minnesota. So Peacock has been pretty solid this year. The only thing I don't like, he doesn't really pitch deep into games. So he's not going to pitch 7 or 8 innings, which is maybe something you should be concerned about. But even in against Detroit and against Minnesota, he only pitched 4 and 1/3 innings and 4 and 2/3 innings, and still finished with 8 strikeouts in those 4 innings pitched. So Peacock, even though he only pitches 5-6 innings, he can still get the strikeouts. The Angels don't really strike out, but they don't hit righties well at all. If you look at their strikeout rate, it is towards the bottom of the league. They only strike out 19.8% of the time, but offensively they don't hit righties well at all. Only hitting a 233 average and a 298 WOBA. Especially with Mike Trout out of this lineup, the Angels are definitely a team you can pick on. So I'm going to be doing that today with Brad Peacock at 7,900 as my SP2. When you plug in Kluber and Peacock, that leaves you an average of over 3,600 remaining per player. So my 3 hitters are all going to be value plays, all going to be 4K or less. So you guys can definitely use my 5 guys and build around that. So starting off, the first guy that I like for value, shortstop is going to be Eric Sogard for just 3,600, getting a matchup against Randall Delgado. This Delgado guy, he has actually been kind of solid this year in the 3 starts that he has made. But Eric Sogard has just been really good this year, especially when he bats leadoff. He is projected to bat leadoff today against Delgado. He is going to be getting the platoon advantage against the righty. So anytime Sogard does face a righty, the Brewers will usually bat him leadoff. And Sogard pretty much can do it all. He does have a little bit of power. He has already had 2 home runs this year. He did homer today on Thursday. The Brewers had an early game, and he did homer there. So he does have pretty good power, and he also has pretty good speed as well. He's already had 2 stolen bases. So Sogard, he puts the ball in play. He will steal bases, does have a little bit of power. And playing in Chase Field, a great hitter's park, one of the best hitter's park in the game. I'm really liking Eric Sogard today as a cheap value play that you can target at second base or shortstop. You can play him at those 2 positions on DraftKings, especially since he leads off. I absolutely love that for a value play. Anytime you get a value play batting towards the top of the order, I really like that. So I like Eric Sogard at shortstop for just 3,600. Then at outfield, there's two guys I like here. First off, I'm going to be targeting Ben Gamble today at just 3,300, getting a matchup against Joe Biagini. Gamble, also a very good value play because he is expected to lead off today as well. And getting the platoon advantage against Biagini, I really like Gamble today as well for value. It's just 3,300 on DraftKings, which is insanely cheap. Gamble does hit righties pretty well. He's going to be getting the platoon advantage and facing a righty today. So I like Ben Gamble for another value play that you can target. Just 3,300. He has been pretty consistent as of late. He has been producing, getting the job done. In his last 4 games, he's put up 11, 3, 3, and 5 DraftKings points. So I like Ben Gamble today as an outfield value play that you can target. Just 3,300. Then my final value play outfield is going to be Gregor Blanco at just 3,400, getting a matchup against Zach Davies. Blanco, another value play that I'm really liking because he is expected to bat leadoff, and he's going to be getting a great hitter's park playing at home in Chase Field. He's also going to be getting a pretty good matchup facing up against Zach Davies. Davies has definitely been pretty inconsistent this year, and especially going up against the righty. Gregor Blanco does hit righties very well. He will be getting the platoon advantage. So I also really like Gregor Blanco today for outfield value at just 3,400, especially playing at home in Chase Field. That is one of the best hitters parks in the game. I definitely like some bats in this game from both sides. So I like Gregor Blanco from the Diamondbacks at just 3,400. Now I'm going to give you guys some other players that you can roster at each position. So get out a pen and paper or write some of these names down. Try and remember them. So other pitchers that I like besides the pitchers that I gave, I think Jordan Montgomery is in play today just because Baltimore does strike out a lot versus lefties, and Montgomery does have pretty good strikeout stuff. So I like Jordan Montgomery. I think he might be a little risky, but he does have good K upside. And then another pitcher I like in the mid-range is Alex Cobb. Some catchers I like today. I like Matt Wieters, I like Sandy Leone, and I like Jonathan Lucroy. First base, other first baseman I like today, I like Eric Thames, I like Matt Carpenter. Carpenter has really started to heat up lately. He has homered in 2 straight games. He's getting a pretty good matchup today against Jeremy Hellickson, so I like Matt Carpenter, and also like Kenny Vargas for value. Second base towards the top, I like Daniel Murphy. And then 2 value plays I like at second base, like Ian Kinsler and I like Brian Dozier. And you can also play Eric Sogard at second base as well. At third base, towards the top, I love Miguel Sano today against Matt Moore, getting the platoon advantage. Sano's been really hot lately. I love paying up for him if you can. For value at third base, though, I like Nick Castellanos and I like Evan Longoria. Shortstop, if you want to pay up, I like Francisco Lindor at the top of the shortstop list. And then the mid-range value play at shortstop I like is Asdrubal Cabrera. And then you can play Eric Sogard at shortstop as well. And then at outfield, towards the top, an outfielder I want to pay up for today if I can is Michael Conforto. He's going to be playing in Atlanta. Great hitter's park for lefties. And Julio Teheran has really struggled against lefties this year, so I love Michael Conforto today. Also really like Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is just 4,300, which seems way too cheap going up against Jordan Zimmerman. So I really like Mookie Betts as well. And then for value plays at outfield, I like Josh Reddick and I like Nick Markakis. And then, like I said, I also like Ben Gamble and Gregor Blanco as well for outfield value. And yeah, so those are some other picks that I like at each position. You guys can use my top 5 plays, use some of those picks that I gave. You guys can build a lineup out of that. I left you an average of 3,800 remaining per player with these 5 plays, so you can definitely work with that. Maybe find a couple of value plays that you like and definitely build around this. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you never want to miss out on any videos, please be sure to turn on post notifications. If you click the bell icon next to my YouTube name, if you scroll down where the subscribe button is, there is a bell icon. You click that, that'll notify you every time I upload. So if you never want to miss out on any videos, you can do that. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys.
Girl, let's pop a pill and get lost in the night. Exhausted tonight. What's the cost for this life? I've been inclined to ignore your advice and just do it my way, do it my way. Different people come from different directions. I'm dying from the distance.